Hello, beautiful Our Mettaverse community. Thank you for being here with me. Tonight we're going to talk about the four immeasurables, also known as the four aspects of true love. I liked that. I liked that a lot. We've been talking a little bit about not letting the way somebody calls something change us from understanding the concept of it and whether we want to understand the concept of it or not. So I am a free for all, and you pick what you like calling it. Different places call it different things, and I just think they're really fun things to practice, and I'm glad to be here with you to practice. All right, so I'm excited to kind of go over those, and we're going to do a practice for each of them. So we'll get 4 practices in tonight, and that will be kind of nice. The 4 immeasurables, the 4 aspects of true love, or the 4 sublime states, they're also called, are things that are like, hey, shoot, if that's sublime, let's go for it. Right? Let's do that a little bit more. I want to invite some check-ins. I'm really excited to have Aga back here from Poland at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go first, Aga?
Um, sure. Yeah.
While you're awake?
Yeah.
It's so nice to hear your voice.
Thank you. I know it's just so hard sometimes to join with
Yeah.
the time difference and 3
Hmm.
a.m.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
know. Every once in a while my alarm wakes me up. So yeah. So I'm here. So
So you're
um yeah, I mean, I've been good. I've been enjoying my life in Poland and hanging out with my friends and doing all my workouts. And then I went to see my sister in Budapest and Spain. So we had some fun. I lost my cat yesterday, so I'm a little broken.
Mm.
I feel sad, but yeah, other than that, nothing really new. I went to my friend's wedding on Saturday. So we had fun and yeah, it was pretty chill. I don't really remember what I was doing
I
recently.
don't blame you.
You know.
Okay, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Last week, we kind of did an unrecorded class where we talked about just things that we take with us or things that we've
Okay.
used from this class. Is there anything from this class that you've gone, oh man, I used that one time, or something that you can think of from here that's been useful for you?
I think that will be very general. Because I can't really think of one thing right now, but generally, like I feel like it's very supportive, like
Mhm.
in a way that like I can feel that I have close people that I can, talk to and they have different, feelings or or thoughts about life and issues, and all these issues are our common issues. And for that reason, it feels a little bit, less hard when you think about things.
Mhm.
And you don't want to be like alone thinking about some stuff. So it's always nice to have, people around that you can, talk about things and share your perspective. So I think that's very valuable.
Mm.
But that's a little general. So
So you feel like you're with us even when you don't get to check in.
yes,
Yay.
exactly.
That's huge. That's huge, right?
I
Right?
actually do, yeah.
To feel like you have a community when you
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
to
Yeah.
come join is really beautiful. Yay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Can you give us your kitty cat's name?
It was Gucho.
Gucho.
Good job.
Hmm. We're glad that Gucho had you, and we're glad that he felt your love, or she, and we're glad
Yeah.
that you had so much time together and that you got to share love and feel love. And we hope that Gucho's feeling peaceful now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm. Mm. Yanti, would you like to check in?
Sure. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I've got so many things going on in my life right now that are good and some, challenging, just like I'm sure we all know how that goes. But overall, I think I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm really bringing awareness when I start to have funky thoughts and stuff and having that thought in the back of your head, like, oh, I don't have to react that way, or I don't have to engage or let it be a negative thing, or just kind of catching your own thoughts when they start to sometimes, sabotage you or take you down, sort of, and having that awareness to go, oh, I don't really have to keep going with that or that thought or that feeling or that thing, and being able to kind of, you know what I mean? I can kind of nip it off and be like, hey, that's not really helpful, the helpful way to go. It's not great, so just that awareness has been really helpful for me, and just really staying leaning into my higher power when things get kind of, a little bit rough, and just sometimes I just say some kind of personal prayers. I've been trying to do that every morning, and then also just really focusing on the gratitude. And I have so many great things happening in my life that it makes the things that aren't so great or challenging seem rather small. If you keep focusing on gratitude, you realize that the wonderful things are much, much bigger than than the other things. And so that's been super helpful for me. So I'm in a pretty good space as far as that goes. So yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this group. But I think that it does feel like a really safe place to just come back to, even if I am not with you guys. Like um I'm sorry, what was her name? Was just talking about, yeah,
Aga.
Aga, sorry.
Mhm.
But Aga was talking about that, I feel like you guys are still there even when I'm not with you. So that's wonderful, to have that feeling of support. Yeah. And so that's why I keep coming back. Because you guys are awesome. Yeah.
I'm grateful for everybody.
Yeah.
I am in a little tiny house in Washington. We just drove from Lake Wenatchee to Whidbey Island for Carrie and Reef and I to visit with Carrie's family member before we head home. We had a great week, and it was extremely relaxing, almost to the point where you go, this is too much. There's a purpose to every day, and it's beyond just relaxing. Like, we need to get some things going on here. So I think it was fair. They call it in the in one of the teachings, they talk about right effort. And it's like, we're not going to get better at understanding ourselves if we don't make an effort to understand ourselves. And we're not going to get better at feeling good about ourselves if we sit around and do nothing all day long every day. Like, it was 10 days and that was a little much for me. but I'm glad to be here. And Rachel, thank you for being with us. She's not going to check in at this point. She's going to be silent, but I'm so glad that she's here with us because it was her idea to come up with this, what we would do today. I'm going to try to share the screen, see if we can go technical on us. I think I'll do my whole desktop. In Buddhist talk, they call these the Four Immeasurables. And I thought that was pretty, like, wow, that's pretty profound. And then I heard that Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a more of a Zen Buddhist, he calls these the four aspects of true love. And I think this isn't in a romantic love type attitude. This is in a loving from your heart attitude. And I liked that. And so, as I like to encourage us to do, is we pick what resonates in our heart, how we want to call something. And then we can choose to go on with that way. And, oh, those four things, those four true love things, those four immeasurable things, those four, however it works best for you. We're not at Our Metaverse is not trying to stick to one particular tradition as much as I am heavily learned in Mahayana Buddhism. I want us to stick to what makes sense to us in our metaverse and what resonates with us as our own choice, and stay there. Okay. So there's no particular way to call these. So let's go into these a little bit. So what's the purpose for the four aspects of true love? They help us grow what's called balanced compassion. Sometimes it's really easy for us to have compassion for one person or for a few people. And these try to help us have compassion for all people equally, even all beings equally. These promote universal kindness, meaning nobody gets left out. No being gets left out. So imagine, what I like about some of the Buddhist lessons is they teach you not to, it's not just, oh, love everybody equally, but they'll say they set these goals that are so far beyond what we would typically set up in our minds. They would say, love everyone as if they are your only child. Like, not just equally, but like as much as you've ever loved anybody in your whole life. Like, whoa. And what I like is their goals are so huge that it ends up taking our default goal and pushing it a little bit farther, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So these aspects or immeasurables remind us that we're always in relationship with one another. There's not a time that what we do, if we know anybody, doesn't affect somebody or another being. That whether, as minuscule as beings get, we affect beings out all the time, every day. And then you get the people that we interact with, and we all affect each other. These are sublime because they point to the most wholesome, most loving, most affirming way of relating to others and to ourselves. And they enable calmness, or they help enable calmness in the face of life's up and downs. We're going to have the ups and downs. We're going to have them. They can be a little less extreme, a little less radical for us. So I liked this story that I found that says, what else do these four aspects do? Well, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Luis Massignon, maybe, a Catholic scholar of Islam, so he's studying Islam, said that religious historians should, through their scholarship or studies, broaden their perspective on a time and culture to such an extent that they might feel the way the people they study felt. I like that. He called this exercise the science of compassion, a way to, quote, make place, end quote, for the others in our minds. This is precisely what the four immeasurables teach us to do. They help us make place for others in our minds, and further, to see others as ourselves. That's another one of those extreme ones. In the belief of reincarnation, there is a saying that says, at one point or another, all beings have been our mother. So if we have endless lifetimes, we were a lizard once, we were an ant once, we were a turtle once, we were a male once if we're female, we were, at one point or another, every being was our mother at one time or another. And so we treat all beings as if we are their mother or as if they are ours. In Western society, when we teach this, we have a lot of pushback with, what if I don't like my mom? What if I had difficulty with my mom? I don't want to go hurt all beings because I don't like my mom that much. And we just, if that doesn't work for you, it didn't work for me for a long time. I had a really hard relationship with my mom for a very long time. And I learned how much my mom actually did do for me in these other classes that are learning how to love people as they have been your mother, and then actually loving your real mother. And they helped a whole lot, just to really, really focus on what she did do. You know, focus on how I was in her body for so long. Focus on how she helped feed me with her own body. Focus on all, it just literally, the classes were 3 hours of that.
Wow.
Just endless. What did she actually do for you? Maybe it wasn't as you wished it would have been, but it was her best. And you just be grateful and be grateful and be grateful. It helps you kind of decrease this dislike anyway. So if what I do like and works for me is treat all beings as if we are their mother. Because the healing can happen when, oh, wow, you know, yes, I want to, like, oh, gosh. Yesterday, we were on a boat. We came to the dock and these people were talking about spiders who had been given LSD. And I'm going, do. I just need to get off the boat, get in the car. And as I do that, I'm wearing this sun-brimmed hat, and this giant spider is right on the brim of my hat. And I'm like, I had practiced this. All beings have been my mother. I want, you know, I am their mother, and I don't just go kill spiders anymore. I actually take them out of the house and give them a life. And do they think these now? And this spider, I was like, okay, you're my mother, but you need to be my mother over there. So we're all learning. This is why it's called a practice. Oh, goodness. All right. So this is just a little challenge for us to ask ourselves. When someone expresses something to me and then wants something in return, how does that feel? Here's our example. I love you. And we just
Love you too.
right? But we don't respond necessarily sometimes, or all times.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, don't you love me too?
Yeah.
And it kind of takes the magic out of the I love you.
Yeah.
Right? And then let's ask ourselves, when someone gives us something with the expectation of something in return, how does that feel?
Yeah.
Right? So let's say you give me a gift for $40, and then eventually I give you a gift, but it's only $20. And then you ask, well, why didn't you spend $40 on me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It kind of gives this, it takes this magic away of just offering something. And so that's kind of this thing that we need to understand, is the key points to these aspects being true and pure is wanting nothing in return. When we offer them out to the spider, may you be well. You know, if still you need to bite me somehow, that's my fate. But I'm just going to wish you well anyway. Right? And we just try to wish well purely without asking or wanting something in return. All right. I want you guys to ask me any questions on this part of it. Okay. When I meditate, sometimes I'm like, you know, may all dragonflies be free from suffering. And then I ask myself in my discerning, what the heck does that mean? And how am I affecting anything in some way by doing that? You know, like, why am I First of all, the inclination might be, why am I wasting my time doing that? And then it's, is there any value to this whatsoever? And then over time, I've asked myself that enough times when I'm wishing whatever being not to suffer, that I realize that what I'm doing, I mean, it has an effect, hopefully through the airways, some way, in some quantum physics way that I don't necessarily understand. There's some good being sent to that being. But what it feels like mostly to me is that I'm training the mindset that was saying, I hate all spiders, let me kill them. I'm training that mindset in my own mind to not be so negative. I'm training my mind to take away all of these non-loving thoughts and put them into any circumstance to any being. And so I'm hoping that a little bit of this explanation here might help us, and let's discuss it too, right? I have this here saying the action may not be as strong as the mindset. So what do I mean by that? We're cultivating a mindset because everything begins in the mind. So as our mind ruminates on the thoughts over and over and over again, wouldn't it be nice, instead of, I can remember thinking my ex-boyfriend, a woman got pregnant on purpose with my ex-boyfriend. My ex-boyfriend and I were still friends, and I ruminated about that situation in such negativity for so long that all I did was create harm for myself, for her, for him, for the kids, for everything. It was awful. You know, you have a feeling and you're just shaking every time you think of it because you're so overwhelmed by it. It was just horrible. And I can't imagine, it would have been so much nicer to just say, that's the way things are. May she be comfortable. May she actually ended up with twins. May the babies be comfortable. May they be healthy. May they be loved. And just always, no matter what, at all times, be giving something positive, be giving something love. I'm telling you, it would have definitely benefited me more. But it probably definitely would have benefited them more. And then I would not have been the cause of harm, which they say with karma comes back to me eventually. So it's just, we're trying to cultivate or grow a mindset that doesn't naturally have harm in it. Rather, when we see something as scary as a spider on the rim of our hat, our natural instinct, our spontaneous instinct is kindness. Okay, be free from suffering, but down there, like much more peaceful, much less harmful to my body, much less harmful to that being's body. So let me put an explanation, or talk about this explanation that I have when I say we're cultivating a mindset because everything begins in the mind. Here's an example. I'm so happy when my son gets a good hit with the baseball. Now, that he gets a good hit is not the point. That I'm practicing being happy for another person, that's the point. And when I say point, I mean that's the intention. Oh, we didn't do our intention tonight. We'll do that in a second. The intention is the power that drives direction to what we're doing. It's the difference, as we've talked about a few times, between creating a good karma and creating a bad one. The exact same action, like pulling a child by the arm, can have the intention to save them from being hit by a car, or can have the intention to harm them, to discipline them. And the exact same action has two different intentions. So we're looking at the intention. That he hit that he gets a good hit is not the point here. Practicing being happy for another person is the intention behind this exercise. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Does it seem clear?
Yeah.
And then if I can practice here for somebody close to me, eventually I can expand that and start practicing for all others. May my intention towards them be, first of all, not harming them. And when I get really solid in having an intention that does not harm, may my intention actually be to help. Okay. Now, I'm adding this here. I hope it doesn't cause more confusion. As parents, just because I used a parent example here, we walk a fine line as we are what is called our child's healthy attachment figure. Okay. Healthy attachment is when a child can come to, it's most typically the mother, come to that guiding being, and that guiding being reflects back something to the child. Attachment in that situation is a necessary attachment. And hopefully we can create a healthy, necessary attachment. They need to survive based on us as an adult. And if we reflect back to them as we are helping them survive, that they are good people, that we see their heart, that we understand how generous they are, sooner or later they will begin to see themselves as we see them. So it's really important that we are able to see those who are our attachment figures in a way that we can reflect back to them, and then they will begin to see themselves that way. And as we know, when we don't reflect positivity back, they start to see themselves with not positivity as well. Okay, do we have questions on that part? It's a tiny bit off subject, but I just wanted to say, because of this example here, we've got attachment that needs to be talked about, because typically we talk about attachment being a negative trait. Attachment, aversion, and ignorance. Those are the three poisons that we talk about a lot. I want this, and therefore I'm going to take it whether I have the money or not, and I steal something. Not positive attachment. I don't want that. Don't bring it near me. If you do, I will hurt you. That's aversion. Ignorance is simply not knowing. And not knowing is a little bit harmful in some cases, which is why we study, so that we can know. So aspect number 1 is called loving kindness, or immeasurable number 1. Here's our metta with 2 T's, right? It's the wish for all beings to be happy and to experience well-being. It involves developing a well-meaning and kindly attitude towards oneself and towards others. Hello, Rachel. So we'll do a little exercise on metta right now, okay, or meditation. It's going to be fairly quick. We'll just get ourselves into some kind of comfortable position, hopefully with our back straight a little bit. Let's first really set our intention and motivation for coming together tonight and being here in our community, feeling that whether we're here or whether we're not, we have this community, and how fortunate we are for that. And then let's just set a quick intention, meaning what will we do, the motivation, why will we do it, as we go through these exercises tonight. Mm. Mm. And if you want to give me a quick glance so I know you have intention done. then we can go right back into closed eyes and we can go into our meditation now on loving kindness. Let's just do a quick body scan. What's going on at the top of our head and at our eyes, our nose, our cheeks, our mouth, our neck. Just breathing to get settled as we go down into our shoulders. Maybe we can make them go from ice to water to a nice light gas. And down our arms, to our elbows, to our wrists. Feeling the settling into our hands. Feeling what's going on in our fingers. If we can take a nice big breath, we can feel all the way into our fingers. And we can come back and go down our spine, and our chest area, and all of our little organs, down to our pelvis. Our tummy. Feel yourself settling. And then from our legs, from our upper legs to our knees, from our knees down to our ankles and heels. And then feel just how much is going on in our feet and in our toes. Now that we feel a little bit settled, a little bit comfort in our community, you can say these out loud or you can say these in your thoughts. May I be happy. I'm going to repeat them twice. May I be happy. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from suffering. May I feel peace. Put a tiny smile on your face and say, may I feel peace. And then we're going to say, may you be happy. May you be happy. You can pick one person if you want to for that, or a couple people. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from suffering. May you feel peace. May you feel peace. And then we're going to open that up to all beings without exception. May all beings without exception be happy. May all beings without exception be happy. May all beings without exception be free from suffering. May all beings without exception be free from suffering. Dig deep and really mean this. May all beings without exception feel peace. May all beings without exception feel peace. And then when you're ready, come on back. Excuse me. Would anybody like to reflect on practicing loving kindness?
I have this thought. I just realized, just recently, that I've been very negative towards people in general. Like when I think about people, I don't like people, to be honest. Like, I have people in my close environment and, my family, my friends, but people in general, I can't. I just can't like think in a good way about them. And so when it comes to like random people on the streets that annoy you for some reason, and it's really hard to control yourself and be like, okay, maybe this person, goes through something in his or her life and blah blah blah. And I feel like I've become more better at like kind of setting a different mindset in those situations when things happen and when there's a person that, annoys you for some reason, and I'm just like, okay, let's just take it easy, and let's just like forgive for whatever happened, and maybe this person just had a bad day or something happened. So yeah, so I've been trying that, and I think uh yeah, I think it's getting a little bit better, and I'll always remember our meetings, so it helped me.
So that's what I love about your share, Aga, is your awareness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Step one is, what are my thoughts doing? Where are they going?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're being super aware, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? And then we see the tendency
Mm-hmm.
with thoughts. I'm seeing that I'm kind of defaulting to a negativity, which that is the brain's default network. That's what it does.
Yes. The
mind's default network, not the brain. And so we practice this, like even when you see somebody and you start to feel negative about that person, or you hear yourself later on and you go, oh, what is that person wearing that for? Why are they thinking that? Then you say, stop. And then you go, hold on. May they be happy.
Yeah.
May they be free from suffering. May they feel pain. You can choose whichever things you want them to be. These are pretty general ones here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just see what it does to your own mind as you practice those things. Yeah, nice. Anybody else want to share?
I can jump in on that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to actually piggyback, Aga, because my husband is very similar to you, Aga. I'm complete opposite. I'll get into an elevator and be like, sending you love. Like, hope everybody has a great day. My husband is very much, I study numerology, and he is a humanitarian at heart. And he looks at the world. Society could be better. They could push themselves harder. And when he looks at people, he can be very kind to people who are respectful. However, he feels that so many people need a push and a shove. So I love that the topic we're talking about is mothering or parenting and looking at all beings everywhere. You know, some might need compassion and others might need a suggestive push and saying, you could do better. You could effort a little bit more. You know, you're not necessarily living the best version of yourself. And so seeing things from different perspectives. And again, I think I told you, Aga, my husband's 100% Polish too. So maybe that's just that Polish blood. It's like, come on, you guys could step it up a little bit.
Yeah, as Europeans in general, like we have different brains.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just say, just the meditation in itself, though, Denise, was beautiful. And I liked, not only did we just get to nourish ourselves and just remind ourselves to have happiness and peace, but as soon as we get to then share that and put that back out there, it was not just one person, but just a whole rush of people that came to mind. And I just felt like I got to send so much love back to so many people I care about. But then the Buddhists take it a step further, and it just wants to share it with everyone, every little itty bitty particle in the universe. Let's just make sure we put our energy out into that. And you sit here and it's so powerful. And it's like, wow, you know, we're part of something so much bigger than ourselves. And I felt that just for a split moment. I was like, wow. So thank you. Beautiful meditation.
That's awesome. Rachel, thank you for bringing that up, because some of this is when we, you know, in saying, may all beings without exception, whatever, we have now connected ourselves to all beings without exception. But we created that connection.
So cool.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you guys for those wonderful shares. I love that. Yeah, I was very relaxed towards the end. It kind of went in layers for me, you know, like I was breathing and then listening to, you know, what you were saying. And then each time it got a little lighter and a little lighter. And then it just felt so good at the end. But I do know what these ladies were talking about a little bit when, you know, you're saying something about sometimes your thoughts can turn negative. And one thing that I've really been practicing is like, we don't have to believe everything we think, because sometimes it's not true. We're kind of programmed. So you don't have to believe your thoughts, because sometimes your thoughts are just repetitive cycles or stories that you've told yourself in the past, or like you said, a default system. And if you can recognize those patterns and go, wait a minute, that's not really how I think. And we're kind of in the process of changing the way we view things and the way we react to things and the way we're able to have a little more compassion and control over how we do react to things. And all of these things is kind of changing the story, changing the programming, changing the whole thing up so that we don't have to believe all those yucky, sometimes, because I have negative thoughts too. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not really what I really think. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? Like, did you get a question? You're like, wait a minute, why do I think that? Why am I being so negative? Or asking myself, why does that bother me? What is it about that bothers me? And then you're really putting it back onto you to ask yourself, that person's pants are bothering me. That's pretty dumb. And why? You know what I mean? Like, why? Who cares? Why is that lady's pants bothering me? Like, it's obviously a problem with me. You know what I mean? It seems so dumb to me when you really think about it, like, it's not the lady, it's me. You know what I mean? So there's
But
so
how
much
powerful is that when we realize it's us and we realize we can make a change? Whoa.
Yeah. So it's kind of silly. These things, it's like you said, it's kind of a default, and it almost gives us permission to just step away and be like, unaccountable for our thoughts and the way we act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have that accountability because we can just go, ew, I don't like that. I see teens doing that a lot, and adults do it too. And it's just an easy way to get out of maybe even dealing with your feelings or something. Just like, whatever, I don't like that. So anyway, I'm working on that a lot myself, just recognizing, why does this bother me? It doesn't really mean anything. And if it means something to me, then that's something I need to work on, and just asking yourself those questions. So,
and you brought something up huge, Marie, which is, I'm so not used to calling you Marie.
You can call me that. Call me whatever you want.
Can I call you by your name? You brought this huge thing up, which is becoming the observer of our thoughts rather than identifying with our thoughts, meaning I'm just like that, that's just me. Instead, we can say, there are some thoughts here, and there's some neutrality to it. There's not this magnetism to cling on to, that's me. We create this neutrality by observing it. Look at that thought that's here. That's not really what I want to put out into the world. That's not authentic to me. Hang on, let me switch that. And now you switch it over to the more kind and loving person that you are. And you go, that's me. And now you are worthy observer, and you become the subject that changed into this beautiful power, this beautiful energy that can be put out into the world. Yeah, becoming the observer is giant. That's a huge step. Job.
I'm getting there. I'm working on it,
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into aspect number 2. I can figure my computer here. There we go. Compassion, which I think you guys would think is interesting, is also called karuna.
It's cool.
So compassion involves an empathetic response to the suffering of others. And I have this in bold because this is how it differentiates from empathy. And a desire to alleviate it. So we have an empathetic response. Oh no, that person just got hurt. And compassion beyond empathy is, what can I do to help them feel better? How can I act in a way that can make somebody feel better? There are examples of this where we don't know. We don't know how we can do something for somebody. And remember, when we don't know that it's not going to cause harm by what we do, we be a log, right? So when we don't know, we can do things like loving kindness. We can say, may they be well, may they be safe, may they find a safe place, may they be okay. We can do that when we don't know how to actually act to help them carry their groceries they just dropped, or whatever it is that we're experiencing with them. Okay? So compassion is an empathetic feeling and a want to act on it. Now, we can do a journal practice. We can talk about this. I thought that we could start throwing in a couple of different things other than just talking and sharing, but take a minute and just think of a time that somebody was compassionate to you. It's not so easy sometimes, right? When was I going through a hard time? And somebody just wanted to do something to help me alleviate it. Just think about that for a few minutes. And how did it feel? Mm. Mm. Olga, I hope you're feeling us with your kitty right now on that one. Mm. Just allow that feeling in your body of somebody who saw you and wanted to do something about it. And you got to feel it. And ask yourself, did they want something in return? Or did they just give? Allow yourself to really feel that. Somebody who really cared about you. Take a deep breath. When you're ready, come on back. I'm making these a little bit quick because we have 4 of them tonight. Rachel, you want to share an example?
Yeah, mine's short but quite sweet. So just coming in tonight, walking in the grass barefoot, and I stepped on something really sharp in the grass. And I just went, oh, and I was holding my 1-year-old. She's just like, Mommy, what happened? I'm like, oh, I stepped on something sharp and it really hurt my foot. She just looked at me. She's like, Mommy, I'm so sorry that happened. And she just made my heart absolutely melt. And it's like for her to comprehend, think like I'm in pain and to extend a really apologetic and empathetic, I'm so sorry. I would take that pain away, Mommy. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It just, melted my little heart.
Oh, thank you.
So cute.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share what came up for them? Yeah, what came up, I think I shared it before, was when I was just feeling sad and I went in with my son because I like to share my emotions with him. And I'm like, Mommy's feeling sad and I'm just not sure why. And he just gave me the, come on over here, Mama. I'm just, like not afraid of your feelings. I'm right here with you, Mama. I was like, oh man, that's the best. Olga, did you come up with something?
I think I remember Leo, my nephew, doing something similar, but I'm not sure if it was me or Kasha. That something happened to her, and he was like, "Oh, I feel so bad for you. I'm so sorry." And he was so cute, but I don't remember the situation very clear. But yeah.
Thank you. Auntie, do you want to share?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I have to pass on this one. I have too many people around and it feels a little awkward for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Thank you for honoring yourself. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Aspect 3 is the hardest. And I did this today with some people kind of checking it out and was like, wow, okay, it's difficult. Aspect 3 or immeasurable 3, or sublime state number 3 is sympathetic joy. This is the feeling of joy in the happiness of the success of somebody else. Now, success is kind of a triggery word because it kind of leads to money all the time, right? Let's say somebody was super trying to do something and they were able to do it. And you just get so like, I am so happy for them. They tried so hard and they did it. Like, oh, yes. Right? It involves taking delight in the fortune, not necessarily financial fortune, in the fortune of others without jealousy or envy. Okay? Jealousy and envy are both considered delusional mindsets, unhealthy mindsets, because they cause discomfort to the person feeling them and the person they are felt about. When developing our full, pure, amazing human potential, jealousy and envy are to be avoided. Okay, not aversion avoided. Yes, we can say, I'm feeling jealousy right here. What is it that I need to understand? What is it trying to tell me? And we can try to analyze it a little bit, but we'll try as much as we can to not grow those emotions. Okay. Here's our challenges to this aspect, this immeasurable, this sublime state of mind. We're raised to be competitive. And social media absolutely exacerbates this. This was not my opinion alone. This was in coming up and studying several different resources to see this, that social media has proven to be a really big competition maker. Look at my vacation. Look at my beautiful family in their bathing suit. Look at this other thing over here. Whatever it is, it creates this competition like, yes, I want to be happy for you, but my mindset is I'm supposed to be better than you. So there's this, that's a challenge to our ability to develop sympathetic joy. So we just try to become aware of it. We sometimes would rather ourselves be the one who's successful than somebody else. Right? We're taught, hey, if you're the winner, you're the winner. It doesn't matter about anybody else. Come on. That totally invalidates how interconnected we are. But we're taught it over and over. Try being a realtor. That one's brutal in real estate. We believe there's only so much good that can happen. And if it happens for someone else, there won't be enough for us. So we call this scarcity mindset. That one cracks me up. Like, are you kidding me? Like, really? But it's a thing. And our Western culture emphasizes individual achievement and does not focus on how interdependent we are and how our happiness is interconnected with the happiness of others. So we have to watch for these challenges. We have to say, what is my worldview? What was I taught day after day after day by my parents who were also taught it, whose parents were also taught it? But like, whoa, how much am I trying to get through to allow myself to truly feel just joy that somebody else worked hard for something and got it? All right. So here's our practice on this one. We're going to share these. And I have permission from 2 people to share tonight. Think of a time that you were so happy for somebody else. And then share it here. My first one is my little nephew, Lucas, who went through high school and like the #1 high school in California. It's called Gunn High School in Palo Alto, public school. 7 of his classmates committed suicide while he was in high school. 2 of them were very close to him. And he just kept caring and loving and trying and doing. And when he got out of high school, now I learned this year, when a death is an unknown method of death, the law in California schools is you're not allowed to talk about it. So imagine that this happens to his friend one day, and the next day it's just social studies as normal. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wish we had our metaverse going on then, I'll tell you. And he didn't get a whole lot of support from his parents, who are divorced and not cooperating so well. Got himself into University of Colorado. He went out by himself to University of Colorado. This was like now during COVID. He kept going, got his grades at University of Colorado. It ended up being too expensive, so he had to transfer from there to come back to California. Went to UC Santa Barbara, did it half the time online, and graduated in 4 years with his degree in physics through all that. I mean, I am so happy for him. He just surrounded himself with support. He played baseball, and a lot of his baseball friends helped support him. And he's got a beautiful girlfriend he's had since high school, and amazing heart, and fantastic. And he just kept doing, like, I will do this, I will do this. And now he's got this wonderful job that he's doing. And the second share, I'm hoping I can hold it together with, because it's my first time that I have permission to speak publicly. Is that my husband was able to say that he had an issue with drinking. And he was able to go to counseling with me to try to do something about it. And July 15th, 6 years ago, he quit drinking. And it was the most brave I've ever seen anybody be. It was so strong and so powerful. And he just humbled himself and did it. And allowed me for the first time tonight to share that out loud in public. And I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for him. Yes, I'm happy for us and for our family, but I'm so happy for him. So thank you. Thank you. Those are my 2 I have permission to share.
Thank you for sharing.
And if anybody else would like to share a little sympathetic joy, I would be very inviting of it. Thank you.
Are we sharing our own story? Not on yours, right? We're talking about our own, correct?
Yes, sharing what came up for you when you were.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if this is, the first person I thought of, course, was my daughter, because she's just, I've never seen her so happy. And of course, I'm not sure if that even counts, because of course a mother mostly always wants to see her children happy. So it seems like,
Yeah,
but she's gone through so much. She's, a great person, and she's had her challenges and her heartbreaks, and just worked really hard through water polo school and just trying to do her best. And, I saw her go through some really hard, sad times, you know, as people do, and it's hard to watch our children do that. But she's, you know, really found someone that she feels like really compliments her, and for the first time, I didn't know what to think in the beginning, because I thought, well, we'll see, you know how parents are, we'll see. You
Yeah.
know, I wasn't being cynical, but I thought, you know, you just don't know. Is this for real? Is this, you know, but you don't know until it develops. But now she lives in Mississippi. She's as happy as I've ever seen her. She sends me pictures every day, and just living, like, just so in love and happy and really moving forward with her life. And she's got plans now, you know. Her boyfriend's going to be a pilot, and she's going online school for health coaching and nutrition and fitness. And I love that for her. You know, that's something that, you know, so I'm just, so that makes me so, so happy. And just to see these young people so happy and so moving forward, kind of like your Lucas, you know what I mean? Just these young people that have, you know, maybe she hadn't had as much challenge as him, but I don't know. But, you know, she's had her fair share of ups and downs, and not being happy in relationships. And so it's just, it feels like success to me. It's not like they have a ton of money or anything, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about joy of the heart. You know, she
Yes.
feels so happy and so free, which makes me feel that way too. You know what I mean? So it's like I just get to share that within her.
Yeah.
And so it's just really wonderful. And then Rob feels the same way. So anyway, that's yeah, I mean, that's kind of, you know, a cliche, is that your daughter and be, you know, but anyway, that's what the first thing that came up. And it's the first joy right now that's really struck me as being so authentically real. And so she's so happy. So I love that, you know.
Yeah, we don't have to discredit our joy for any being.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It kind of seems inevitable, mother-daughter, but you know, it's not always, because like you said, you've had challenges with your mother, and maybe she didn't, because of her own not happiness with herself, she maybe wasn't able to be happy for all of your successes. You know what I mean? Like, you had a lot of great things and not great things happen, and the things that were great, maybe she wasn't able to feel that joy for you because she didn't have it within herself, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I guess that's true. It's not always just because you're it's because I'm her mother doesn't mean I'm automatically. Some mothers are jealous of their daughters. That's really sad.
No, it's
And that's yeah. So
Thank
anyway, that's silly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to share?
I can. Thank you both. I will just say it's a pleasure that I've gotten to meet Carrie, and I'm so grateful that he is willing to allow you to share his story, because it's such a powerful one. And, you know, I think when people can be that vulnerable, it uplifts immediately so many others. So thank you, Denise, for sharing that. And
thank you, Rachel.
Yeah. Marie, cheering your daughter on too, because it's like I'm starting that journey with my daughter. There she is sleeping right there. And to hear the successes, even through the challenges, right? That's the journey of life. But to know, like, you're such a good support system for her, and that she's surrounded by so many good people now, and she's found a really happy place in life. Yeah, that's just beautiful. It's just uplifting to hear that too. I'll do two quick ones. The first one that actually, both of them happened today, really hit home to me. We moved back to New York the beginning of July. And the reason was because we've got all our family here. My husband's family is here. I grew up here. So I've got my aunts and uncles and cousins and dad and siblings and everything. Today, I was over at my aunt's house, and my cousin, her son, has been down in North Carolina for the last like 10 years. And I haven't actually seen him in those 10 years. It's been crazy. We stay in touch, and we were really close as kids, but he actually drove up to spend the next few weeks up here. And I just got to walk outside and see all the cousins on the field, all my little ones, my cousin's little ones. His sister was there with her little ones. And I saw just the happiness on my aunt's face. Like she was in her element. All of these beautiful people who she's raised and, helped influence, she was just in her piece of heaven, right? And just to see that happiness made me so happy for her. The love that she has put into all of us and the time and the energy to help raise us has now been instilled into all these little ones. And it was beautiful just to witness that. I know what happened to Marie. And then the second one, my husband started his new job today. And I was it was really good. I told him tonight, I said, you have up leveled our family. He started in this very big architectural company, and he'll be working, doing roadworks as an inspector, checking different blueprints and following the guys around and stuff like that. His job's very intricate and very detailed and seems so overwhelmingly intense to me, but it's so up his alley. And just talking to him tonight about it, his joys come back. He just feels like himself again, and he's stepping into this new chapter and this new season of life, and I'm so stoked for him. So those are my two shares. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Hi, Laura.
Yay. Hi, Laura. We're just doing a share of sympathetic joy, which is feeling joy in somebody else's successes or feeling joy in somebody else's joy. So we did a little kind of thought of, what makes us feel great. And Rachel was just sharing what she thought. Aga, do you have something? Aga's on from Poland with us again, Laura.
Yeah.
Do you have an example? Do you want to share, Aga?
I can't really think of anything specific now.
Can I share something for you?
Yeah. Please.
So I don't know if you guys know, but Aga tried so hard in so many different situations and worked with a lot of people and a lot of cooperation and ended up becoming Miss Poland.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So to have it was like, oh my God, that's my sister-in-law. Let's go look at this.
Yeah.
Other people, and there she was winning it. You're just like, yes.
Yeah.
That was really fun too. All right, I'm going to take us on to, we're doing 4 Immeasurables today, Laura, and they're also called the 4 Sublime States, or they're called the 4 Aspects of Pure Love or True Love. So I'm going to go back to our little slideshow with that. Marie's phone died. All right, so that was our sympathetic joy. And I wanted to put a comment here that read out the comment out loud that the Dalai Lama says. It says, if I'm only happy for myself, there's many fewer chances for happiness. But if I'm happy when good things happen to other people, billions more chances to be happy. Right? Like, let's be happy for everyone. All right. Equanimity. Equanimity is our 4th immeasurable or aspect or sublime state of mind. Equanimity is the state of being calm, balanced, and impartial, especially in the face of difficult situations. It involves maintaining a steady and even-minded mindset towards all beings, regardless of their actions or their circumstances. I'm going to pull a Robina on this one here. This includes rapists. This includes murderers. This includes people who are suffering so mentally badly that they cause harm to others. When we're ready. There can be people that we wish we could care about. I can't do this, you guys. There can be people that we can say, I want to, like we were talking about, love them equal to how I love my son. I can't do that. I can work towards that. I can make my mind set, go towards that more. I can practice sending loving kindness to them. I can wish them well and peace. I can do certain things, but I'm not there. This is a practice. Equanimity, I love this part though, is referred to as equalizing self and others. So as soon as we say, like we were saying, oh, that person has the funniest pants, and now we're criticizing their pants, we go, wait a minute, let me equalize myself with them. Wonder what their opinion of my pants are. Right? And we try to equalize ourselves with them to create equanimity between us. I'm not better than them. I'm not worse than them. You know, this goes in two directions. I think sometimes we get tired of hearing people are better than us. You need to listen to me because I'm your boss and I'm better than you. Or you're an equal human being and you have a job and I have one, and let's just do our jobs, right? We hear this because somebody wants to compete because our society is so competitive. But this is also a very strong lesson for those who tend to take the humble road. For those who tend to take the road that says, you go first, you're better than I am. That one was a shocker for me. Like, no, no, no. Whoever you're giving that you're better than I am part is equal to you. They're not better than you. There's a lesson in Buddhism that says, see all others as something like the word better than yourself, more deserved than yourself, higher than yourself might be the word. But it's only in a holy state of mind, which means you revere them, you care for them, you mother them, you love them. It doesn't mean you put them on a place that makes you go lower. This exercise for equanimity is used to counter prejudices. So we say, oh, that person that, oh, all of those blank. The only appropriate answer to that is, are just like me. As soon as you start in with those blanks, just fill it in with, are just like me. Okay. And we're going to do a meditation on this one that's like our metta meditation that we did in the beginning. Laura, I'm glad you're going to be here for this one. But what we're going to do with this one, whatever resonates with you the most as we get into kind of a settled meditation posture, is we're going to either choose to be, I have this as a tree. If you're okay in becoming a tree, please just imagine yourself that you are this beautiful, amazing, grounded tree. Okay. If tree doesn't work, become a mountain. Okay. And feel what it's like to just be steady right where you are. And that the weather isn't always the same. And we start off with an offer to ourself again. May I be balanced and at peace. We say to ourselves in our mind, or we can say it out loud. May I be balanced and at peace. May I learn to see the arising and passing of all things with calm. May I learn to see the arising and passing of all things with calm. You can feel free to put your hand on your heart. Sometimes that feels really great when we're doing metta towards self. May I find balance and serenity in the face of life's ups and downs. May I find balance and serenity in the face of life's ups and downs. And now choose one or two or three people, just small group of people, and offer out to them, may you be balanced and at peace. May you be balanced and at peace. May you learn to see the arising and passing of all things with calm. May you learn to see the arising and passing of all things with calm. May you find balance and serenity in the face of life's ups and downs. May you find balance and serenity in the face of life's ups and downs. And now we're going to broaden this to all beings without exception. May all beings without exception be balanced and at peace. May all beings without exception be balanced and at peace. Dig deep and really feel these. May all beings without exception learn to see the arising and passing of all things with calm. May all beings without exception learn to see the arising and passing of all things with calm. And may all beings, without exception, find balance and serenity in the face of life's ups and downs. May all beings, without exception, find balance and serenity in the face of life's ups and downs. And when you're ready, come on back, wiggle those toes and fingers. So that's our fourth immeasurable, equanimity. Here's a review of all four. They work in all situations: personal life, work life, and family life. They are loving kindness, the wish for others to be happy, compassion, the wish to alleviate suffering from others and ourselves, sympathetic joy is the joy of seeing others succeed. I had a lot of fun with that with you guys. And equanimity, the ability to see all others as of equal worth. You got those, Laura? Oops, here we go. And it's our metaverse's wish for you. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. May you feel joy. May you always feel equal and that you belong. And may you know that all parts of you are loved. Thank you. Would anybody like to share what it was like to do the equanimity as a tree that like doesn't move? Did that feel different? You still with us, Aga?
Yeah.
I hope you're feeling like a tree that wants to go nigh with lots of love now. Laura, I want to give you a little space for a check-in. Of course, we've all been thinking about you.
This is really powerful. And I was sort of seeing my tree as perhaps not getting enough sunlight and water and sort of caved in on itself. And thinking like this allows opening up and perhaps maybe releasing the ego a little bit to, I guess what I was thinking of in particular, my son who's in college in New York City has been dating the same girl. It's his first girlfriend ever. He never dated anybody in high school, and she just broke up with him. And he called me just sobbing. I haven't seen him cry that hard in I don't know how long. They dated for like 1.5 years or 2 years. And when you are attached to your kid, and you it's sort of like they're one of your branches, and it hurts in a way. I mean, this is what I was trying to get to with Rabina in the last. I sometimes wonder if I'm too connected to my patients and to my family, almost in a codependent way, and I ride the waves up and down with them. And it just hurts so much to see him so hurt. And I love this girl, but she wounded him. And it's hard sometimes in your own sphere of pain and hurt, to have loving kindness for those that you feel injured from.
For sure.
And it doesn't feel good. I don't like to feel bitter or negative. It's not a good feeling to feel that way towards others.
No.
It feels better to have the mantras that you were repeating. And it allows you to kind of release this attachment that you have to following the pain and suffering of those that you love. And I really felt like Rabina did a great job for me of helping me sort of realize that perhaps I show up better for people if I'm not so I can be empathetic without also going so deep in their pain. They need somebody to stand on the shore while they're suffering. They need somebody that is there for them and cares for them, but I don't need to walk their path with them emotionally. That perhaps that's the best thing you can do for somebody is love them, but love them and be with them instead of feeling so much of what they're feeling. They don't need me to cry. They don't need me to, suffer. They need me to just love them where they're at,
You might be able to cry still.
I do.
I didn't find that contact.
Siri says you didn't find that contact. Oh, the contact's there, Siri. That's what we're talking about. I think
anyway, it's just a different way of sort of looking at how to show up for others and love others while still preserving a piece of yourself, I guess.
We did this class one time that was super interesting to me, where they had roles that we played. It was compassion roles. And they said, one person had their house and their house was ransacked by thieves. And so they ran over to their neighbor, and then they had 3 different neighbor response scenarios. And one neighbor came over and was like, that's sweet. That's messed up. I'll be at my house if you need something. And he left. Right. It was like, okay. Then we had the other role where the neighbor came in and went, oh my God, you're right. This house is totally ruined. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
This is crazy. Holy cow. And the neighbor starts crying. And
yeah.
Okay. And then there was the neighbor that said, no, wow. Do you want me to sit with you?
Right.
I feel you're so important to me that when you're sad, it makes me sad. I have lots of emotions right now that I don't necessarily understand. Do you want to share some of yours? So there was like this meeting and understanding with empathy, and then this opening for them to have the feeling. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely.
I remember because we were like, oh my God, get that other neighbor out of here. We're doing the exercise. And Laura, I can't imagine when we get there with our kids. I'm so sorry. That's gotta hurt. I need to start winding us down because we've been on for a little while. Thank you for being here. Please forgive me if I brought up anything that felt kind of funny or uncomfortable, or if we need clarification, please always contact me or do what feels comfortable for you. The efforts that you make to share yourselves and your experiences here are profoundly beneficial. I want to take the merit that we earn with that great intention and the altruistic care for others to share these experiences so that others don't feel alone, and so that others feel like we are having so much in common with each other, and know that they're held in this community, whether they're here or not. Laura, somebody, I think it was Marie earlier, was saying that she felt like and Aga also, that even when they're not here, they feel like the community is still with them. And that's so nice. May the merits that we created together go immediately out to the people who need it the most. May they feel any kind of reprieve from suffering they may feel. And may all beings be free from suffering without exception. May all wars end immediately. Thank you very, very much for sharing this time. Thank you, everybody.